Hello there, and if you've already been watching, welcome back to this, the South American Circuit Superstars League. Not only is this round 3 of the championship, it's also a special event. In honour of the 24 hours going on at Le Mans this weekend, the developers have put in the 24 Minutes of Rennvoort as a challenge in the game, so we're using that as our venue for this week's race. This does present some unique challenges. It's also going to be the longest race that there's been on Circuit Superstars, so it's going to be 2 to 3 times the length of a normal race, but we'll cut that down in the edit. You won't have to watch all that. In order to try and get a bit more of a handle on how the race is going to go, me and my teammate Minardi decided to do a little bit of testing, a couple of runs earlier in the day, and the race length, with a little bit of traffic and incident, a 50 lap race is a pretty safe bet. With that information we can work out we're going to need 7 or 8 pit stops. So we would prefer to do 7 because that means that's one less trip through the pits. That's probably a 20-second or so gain. So the best way to handle this is going to be a mixed strategy of 6 and 7 lap stints. So let's get into qualifying. Again, there's going to be 2 lobbies in this, so the results from those are going to be merged to create the final table. This is our lobby here. We'll be using the prototype car, which has just been released this week in time for the event. Obviously endurance style racer, still getting used to the handling a little bit, but we were doing some good times in qualifying. We managed to get under 26 seconds, 25.7, so that's the target for this qualifying session. Let's see how close we get to that. Not a bad start to lap, a little bit tight around that corner there, had to lift off and a little bit wide into the chicane. I lost a little bit of time there, so and wide in last corner as well, so it's not going to be pace setting, but we did get a 26 flat, so if we can improve on that we should be pretty well placed. Second so far after the first round of laps. We've run wide through the right hander there, that's going to cost us some time. A little wide through the chicane again. Not bad through the final corner, but I'm not sure this is going to be improvement. Nope, we're down a 1/10 of a second there, so ideally we would be under 26 seconds, and where's that going to leave us? We're in 4th place it looks like. Let's see, after everybody's come through. Yeah, a little bit disappointed with that, considering our qualifying pace. We do have the pace to be on pole here, but we've not managed it in when it counts, so we're just going to have to work his way through from 4th on the grid. As we can see, we've got Perry there on pole, my teammate in 2nd. I'm sandwiched by the 2 MMM cars. We just need to have a nice clean start and hopefully we can have a good race and move forward with that pace that we've shown in practice. And oh, it's gone wrong already. It's a spin at the first corner, we've been collected by the field. We do manage to dive up the inside of NoChance there, but we can see we're blowing smoke all the way down this section of the track and into his face. Through this chicane now. Looks like there was a problem for Swookies there, so we've got a place back into an accident in the background, a big crash still going on in the background there. But we're leaving a huge trail of smoke, and now we're in trouble already. Certainly in terms of making use of our theoretical pace, we're not going to be doing much with 70 damage we've got in the car. That's not going to be good. That's going to compromise us quite a lot. So right now I'm trying to think, how can we adapt our strategy to make up time? We're obviously losing pace every lap running with 70 HP. Every straight, every acceleration zone you're going to lose time, so I'm running through the math in my head. What I've decided to do is run 4 laps instead of the 6 I was aiming for. So we're into the pits now. We'll get the boys to repair that damage. We'll have to brim the tank with fuel and a new set of tyres, and let's see where we come out. We are down in 8th position. It looks like somebody else has taken a stop as well in the meantime. Maybe somebody else had damage after that first exchange. So we've got Swookies and Stormy ahead of us. Then McVizn is currently in 5th. We'll be looking to track these guys down by the end of the race, and we're coming to somebody with a lot of damage already. That's Swookies, who's in fact is in the wall, so we can just hopefully sweep past on the inside. But it's giving us a bit of a squeeze and a bit of a tap. This is not what we needed. We're already trying to fuel save. We're already trying to recover our race, and we've now got a little bit more damage, but well, certainly not as much as him. He looks as bad as I was at the start of the race. And we've managed to slip through there on the inside of the right-hander, so we've at least cleared him, but we are still... Well, now we're up to 7th. We've got Stoney in the pits at the minute. So we're just going to get ahead of him on the road, and if we can make sure our strategy is good, then we can stay ahead of him by only doing as many stops as he does, or maybe even less. Now we've got to focus on saving the fuel, keeping the lap times up, and making good time through the rest of this stint. So we'll fast forward ahead now. We're about halfway through the race. We've done our long stints, so we're now back on our original strategy. And we're coming into the pits. We've managed to gain a lot of time through that section of the race, and that's put us in the pits just behind McVizn. We can see we've got a few seconds still to gain, but we're at least very much in sight. We've got a target ahead of us, and we're going to try and hunt him down over the next few laps. McVizn's a little bit wide there. He's given us a half an opportunity, and is wide again into the first corner. That's allowed us to slide straight through, so that's good for our race. Didn't lose a lot of time or have any damage whilst banging wheels or battling or anything like that. And fingers crossed, we've now got the speed to pull away from him and see how far up the grid we can make it. Perry's next up the road, but I think he might be out of sequence, so we're looking at the MMM cars. If there's one of those, maybe they've had some incident during the race, perhaps we've got the pace to catch up those guys. If they've had a relatively incident-free race, it's a big gap to close in again for the second week in a row. Jumping ahead, we're now coming in for our final stop. There's just under 3 minutes left in the race. We'll come to the pits for our last time. We've been doing our best pumping in those laps, but now we're at the point where, in order to make the strategy work, we've got to do a fuel saving stint just to run to the end of the race. So it's a full tank of fuel, yet another set of tyres, and throughout this stint we're going to have to fuel save a little bit. We're coming out of the pits just behind Perry and Stoney, I think that is, and this is one of the great things about this kind of long format race. You've got 3 cars on 3 different laps, potentially 3 different strategies, and sweeping past Swookies there, it looks like he's run out of fuel. So problems there for him. Meanwhile, we're gaining on Stoney and Perry. Stoney may as well be nicknamed Stonewall because he's a very difficult character to pass. It looks like Perry's finding that out at the minute. Even though we're saving fuel at this point, it's still allowing us to gain on those 2. I don't think we're going to make any more positions at this late stage unless somebody has a big issue. Perry's just forced his way through on the inside there, and Stoney a little bit out of control. That's let us slip past. Again, that's no time lost for us, so that's good. We were able to just sweep through on our normal line, and we'll see if we can follow in Perry's tyre tracks for a little while now. Looking at the fastest laps, we're within 1/10 of a second, so when we've actually got a working car and no damage, we've actually got the pace to run with the front guys, but unfortunately we're quite a way down the road after that start. Coming around now, it's starting our final lap. We weren't able to make any more ground. We've got Minardi ahead of Perry at the front. Mike Murphy's made his way past his teammate into 3rd place. And Lehdog is up the road from us, but unfortunately out of reach. Considering how bad the start was, how much time we lost with the damage for the second week in a row, we've got to be reasonably pleased with coming through in 5th place. Again, it's a decent point score for the team. Not exactly happy, but at least it's not a complete disaster. We've not had a DNF or anything like that. So if we look at the results for our lobby, Minardi did take the win. Mike Perry took 2nd, Mike Murphy in 3rd, Lehdog 4th, me in 5th, McVizn in 6th, Stoney in 7th, NoChance in 8th, and Swookies in 9th. So congrats to Minardi for winning this lobby, and for Perry running in close and Mike taking the 3rd spot on the podium. Let's see how those positions merge with the other lobby and see what the final results are. So the top 5 positions from our lobby were the top 5 overall, with Alberto winning the other lobby, coming in 6th place, closely followed by his brother Charlie. Royal and Kenjo take the last 2 points paying positions, with Stoney and Marito Pin just missing out. Perry matches Minardi's points tally thanks to his pole position and for taking the fastest lap in the race. At the halfway point in the championship, Minardi leads the Drivers' Championship. That's no surprise since he's won all 3 races. I'm clinging on to second place, just ahead of Mike Murphy, who's claimed third despite missing the first race. Kenjo's had some good consistent results, scoring every time in fourth, and we see Perry and Alberto jump into the top 12 thanks to their results today. In the Teams Championship, Minardi are clear away at the front, with a close battle between MMM and Royal Performance for second place, and then from fourth down, things are so close that that's certainly all to play for in the second half of the season. So that's another one in the bag. Frankly, I'm just hoping for a clear run next time. We'll see what the next event brings, but it's bye for now.